All right, today we're going to talk about something really sneaky. It's a thinking error that gets all of us, from top-level CEOs to sports coaches, and yeah, you and me too. It's called outcome bias, and honestly, learning how to spot it can totally change how you look at success and failure.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a little thought experiment to get things rolling. So picture this. A manager makes a really bold, risky call. They base it on all the information they have at that exact moment. Now, before you know what happens next, was it a good decision or a bad one? Just hold that thought.
Okay, so let's see how it played out. The gamble pays off. Big time. We're talking a huge success. The company lands a massive new client, profits are through the roof.
And now, what's the verdict on that manager's decision? Oh, it was brilliant. A stroke of pure genius. The manager is a visionary, right? You see how that amazing outcome completely colored our perception of the choice itself.
Okay, let's hit rewind. Let's run this whole thing back. Imagine the exact same risky choice, made with the exact same information, by the exact same manager. I mean, literally nothing about the decision-making process has changed.
But this time, the result is a total failure. An absolute disaster. The plan completely backfires and the company loses a ton of money. So now what do we think of that very same decision? Well, now it's careless. It's reckless. What were they thinking? The process didn't change one bit, but because the outcome was bad, our judgment completely flipped. That, right there, is outcome bias in action.
So that little mental glitch we just walked through, that flip-flop in our judgment, well, it has a name. Let's actually break down what's going on here.
So here's the official definition. It's our brain's natural but totally flawed tendency to take a huge shortcut. We see a good result, and our brain goes, great decision. We see a bad result, and it goes, terrible decision. We completely skip over the hard part, which is looking at the quality of the thinking that actually went into it. You can really think of this as a battle between two different things. Over here, you've got reasoning. That's all about the process, the info you had at the time, the stuff you could actually control. But over here, you have the results. That's just the final score, something you only know after the fact, and something that can be completely swayed by pure, dumb luck.
So why are we wired this way? Well, it's pretty simple, actually. Our brains are built for efficiency. They love clear, simple, concrete feedback. A win or a loss. Easy to understand. But the actual decision-making process, with all its complicated variables and what-ifs, that's messy. It's abstract. It takes a lot more brain power to analyze. So our brain just defaults to the easy answer, the outcome.
Now this might sound like some harmless little mental quirk, but letting outcomes dictate how we judge things can be incredibly dangerous. Let's talk about the real stakes here. See, when we fall for outcome bias, we basically create an environment where nobody can learn. We end up punishing people for making good, well-reasoned decisions that just got unlucky. And maybe even worse, we reward people for making terrible choices that just happened to get lucky. This just encourages people to stop taking smart risks, and it makes it impossible to tell the difference between actual skill and just being plain lucky.
And this quote just nails it. When outcomes dominate, learning breaks down. If all we ever look at is the final score, we stop trying to figure out what went right or wrong in our thinking. We just celebrate the wins and mourn the losses, without ever truly understanding why they happened.
Okay, so we've identified the problem, and it's a big one. But the good news is we can fight back. We can actually train ourselves to think more clearly and avoid this trap. So, let's get into the toolkit.
So how do we actually do this? Well, here are 4 steps you can take. First, you have to be a mental time traveler. Go back to the moment the decision was made and only look at the info that was available then. Second, play detective. Try to separate what happened because of a good process from what happened because of a lucky break. Third, be consistent. Judge the process on its own merits every single time, no matter if it ended in a win or a loss. And finally, zoom out. Look for long-term patterns. A long history of sound decision-making is way more telling than one lucky shot in the dark.
All right, if you only remember one thing from all of this, please let it be this one core message.
This is so important. A decision and its outcome live in two completely different points in time. You simply cannot use information from the future, which is what the result is, to fairly judge a choice that was made in the past. It's like grading a student's test using an answer key that they never had. It's just not fair. And that's what it all comes down to. Clear thinking judges choices by the reasoning that went into them, not by the 20/20 vision of hindsight. Look, a great process isn't always going to lead to a great outcome, and sometimes a terrible process will get lucky. But over the long run, which one are you going to bet on? A consistent, sound process or just random chance? The choice, and more importantly, how you judge it, is yours.